So, welcome to French for Absolute Beginners, video lesson number 3. In this video, we are going to cover the negative forms of the verb to be in French, être. Make sure you review first the previous 2 videos. We covered pronouns and positive forms of this word. Now, let's first see how do you make negation, negative sentence in Now let's see first how do you make a negation, a negative sentence in French. You add an e or an apostrophe before the verb and the word pas after the verb. And this an apostrophe is actually a special phenomenon, phonetic phenomenon called elision. And according to this rule, an e becomes an apostrophe in front of the vowels and h, which is in French never pronounced. So let's see what it looks like in the case of the verb être. Please read after the video. Je ne suis pas, tu n'es pas. So let's see what it looks like in the case of the verb être. As you can see, you have the forms of the verb être in black. And then before the verb, you have an e, and after the verb, you have the word pas. And in case of forms which start with E, you have an apostrophe. Now, let's take a look at some pronunciation issues and practice pronunciation. As you remember, the last letters in French are rarely pronounced. And this is why here all of them have been crossed out so that you focus on the pronunciation so that you can try not to pronounce them. Also, pay attention when you're pronouncing these two sounds. The letter U in these two cases with suis and tu is actually the semi-vowel, French semi-vowel U, or the kissing E, where you have to put your mouth like you're going to kiss someone and say E. And also pay attention to ON, the nasal sound on, which you have to pronounce in the son. And they are. We also covered, explained that if a vowel is followed by an or m, in French you have to pronounce a nasal word, a nasal sound. So repeat after the video. Je ne suis pas. Tu n'es pas. Il n'est pas. Elle n'est pas. Nous ne sommes pas. Vous n'êtes pas, ils ne sont pas, elles ne sont pas. You will notice that when you pronounce the words are not pronounced separately. French say all the words in some kind of phonetic groups. So for you at the beginning, since you're beginners, it might be difficult, but try slowly to get into this habit of saying groups of words rather than separate words. Now let's review first just the singular. Say it out loud. So first you will hear the positive form, like they hear je suis, and then the negative form, you repeat je suis, and then you hear the negative form, je ne suis pas, repeat. Tu es, tu n'es pas. Il est, repeat. Il n'est pas. Elle est. Elle n'est pas. Now, can you do it on your own? You will hear the positive form and you have to say the negative form on your own, and then repeat again after you hear the video. Je suis, what's the negative? Did you say je ne suis pas? Repeat, please. Tu es, the negative. Did you say tu n'es pas? Il est. What's the negative? Il n'est pas. Elle est. The negative is elle n'est pas. Now, let's repeat the plurals. Again, you will hear the positive, repeat the positive, and then repeat the negative. Nous sommes. Nous ne sommes pas. Vous êtes. Vous n'êtes pas. Ils sont. Ils ne sont pas. Elles sont. Elles ne sont pas. Can you try on your own? Turn the positive into negative. When you hear the positive, just say the negative form. Nous sommes. Nous ne sommes pas. Vous êtes. Vous n'êtes pas. Ils sont. Did you say ils ne sont pas? Elles sont. Elles ne sont pas. So let's review all of the forms now. Je ne suis pas. Tu n'es pas. Il n'est pas. Elle n'est pas. Nous ne sommes pas. Vous n'êtes pas. Ils ne sont pas. Elles ne sont pas. Now let's practice. Say the negative form after you hear the cue in English. I'm not. Je ne suis pas. You aren't in singular. Tu n'es pas. He isn't. Il n'est pas. She isn't. Elle n'est pas. We aren't. Nous ne sommes pas. You aren't, but in plural with vous. Vous n'êtes pas. They aren't in masculine form for plural with il. Ils ne sont pas, and feminine. Elles ne sont pas. Well, thank you. This was the video about negative forms of ETRE. So far we've covered the first 3 videos, and here you can see what we still have in this first module. Make sure you do the exercises below the video, and then you can proceed to the next video where we cover nationalities and gender so that we can use this ETRE in some sentences as well.